I welcome all of you to this wonderful session of Learn from the Leader How to Become a Great Businessman. Today, to explain about how to become a great businessman, how to become a successful entrepreneur, Mr. Mohammed Hanif from Kuwait is waiting for us to explain how we can do the business of naturally processed oil. And I'm taking you directly to Brother Mohammed Hanif. Welcome, Mr. Mohammed Hanif, for this show, and we are extremely happy to welcome on behalf of ITV. And you are a very successful businessman. We welcome you.
On behalf of Ammani Food Products, we extend our thanks and our wishes to ITV. Thank you. Thanks for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
You are most welcome. So you are into this business of a highly successful businessman. Can you tell us something about you, your background, your how you came into this business? If you tell, the people they come to know.
I'm Mohammed Hanif. I'm Managing Director, International Sales for Ammani Food Products. I come from agriculture background family. My native is in Tamil Nadu, Tiruchirappalli district. Kalathur is my native, and we have got settled in Thurayur. I have completed my communication engineering from Ammani University. I have done my MBA from UK as well. We run a small telecom business here in Kuwait. Since 2015, we are running our own business here in Kuwait. And Ammani Food Products was started by us in 2017. Not only me, we have a team of 5 people. We have joined together to start this Ammani Food Products. Mr. Devarajan, who looks after the production, he is having a 40 years experience in this oil business. And Mr. Perumal, operations, managing director operations and finance. Mr. Saruna Pandian, managing director for marketing. Mr. Giridhar, who handles the India sales, and myself, I'm handling the international sales. So we all joined together to start this business. And in 5 of our partners, 4 of us are doing business together here in Kuwait. So we know them here. We know personally each of them since last 15 years. That's how a small background about me.
Great, great. And when you started this business, normally whenever someone start new business, they may have some kind of hesitation, some kind of fear, whether we will be successful in business or not. So did you have that kind of mindset, and who encouraged you to jump into business, and what is the reason behind jumping into business?
Mhm. I should really thank my father and my family, my partners, who have been as a backbone for us, for me especially in getting into this business. My father used to tell me by seeing my caliber since 2009 and 10. During those days itself, he used to tell me, "So you and your team are joined together, capable of doing your own business. Why can't you guys start your own business and work for you?" Because we previously we were working for an MNC, big MNC company here. He used to tell us that you and your team, you together, you can start your own business and flourish well. That is how the idea started. And I should thank my partners as well, because we all are of different age groups, and one can contribute one's positive and negative, vice versa. One can contribute as a team. So nowadays, starting business is really tough because the world is very competitive, and everybody has the skills, and everybody has the power of money. Power is there with everybody, so everybody can start a new business. But to carry forward and to be a successful businessman in this world, definitely requires teamwork and team support.
Great, great. And why did you choose this business of naturally processed oil? I mean, there are so many other business. So, what is the reason for choosing this business?
A lot of my friends, close friends and friends, used to ask me the same question: Why do you have chosen an oil business? There are a lot of business to do, and a lot of them have asked me the same question. Uh, as an NRIs, we all have we all have that mind that we have to start something in India, and which we start should be very lawful, ethical, and halal. So everybody has this mindset when we think about business in India. And we met Healer Bhaskar here in 2017. My colleague and partner, Mr. Giridhar, he introduced me to Mr. Healer Bhaskar. The 5 days program which Mr. Healer Bhaskar does in India, he does the same program here. He did the same program here for 3 days. After that, we started using a lot of traditional items at my home. Especially this oil contributed a lot to my parents' health. It contributed a lot to them. And we can also feel that difference after using our traditional oils, our cold pressed groundnut oil, sesame oil, and coconut oils. When we started using this, we felt that definitely this product is contributing more to humans' health. And I took up this idea to my colleagues and partners here, that I'm planning to start a small setup here in my hometown. And my colleagues were telling, why can't we join together and do it as a brand? That's how this journey started.
Great, great. So, when you started this business of naturally processed oil, did you do any benchmark by visiting, similar companies in and around your place, and to put a standard for your company?
Mm. Definitely, we did a lot of homeworks because this is a new business for us. We are mainly into telecom, and Mr. Devarajan sir had a lot of ideas. But industry is growing and technology is also growing. To first choose what type of machinery which will be suitable for our type of production itself, we did a big homework. We visited all the manufacturers across Tamil Nadu. We personally went and visited them. We asked about their machineries. We took the quotations from them, because mainly the machineries should be very reliable and should be very apt for what we are planning to produce. So nowadays in market we can find lot of machineries which can contribute, but which is really reliable and which can solve the purpose of our need. In this angle, we did a very big homework across Tamil Nadu. We visited a lot of people, because after a lot of generation changes in our home country, people have moved off using different oils, modern oils. These traditional things have gone, have gone out. And people who know this real stuff were very, very limited in the market, and who can give the correct and exact information which is required for this business. That was really a challenging part, I could say. We did a homework for more than 2 to 3 months. We did a homework to select the machinery which we want to first do it in. That is how we went. And one more thing I would like to add here is, we approached several existing business personalities also who were into this business. Some of them gave us a chance to visit their factory, but 90% of them were not having the open door policy, and they don't want to share. So only 10% of them were really helpful. I'm really thankful to them also, who have openly shared their thoughts with us.
Great, fine. And what is the size of your company? Whether it is a proprietorship or partnership or private limited company or public limited company?
It's a partnership firm. As I said earlier, we are a total five partners together. We hold equal share among us. It's a partnership firm, as I explained before.
Fine, okay. What are the requirements in terms of money, men, materials, method, and machines? So, can you explain in detail about that to start this business?
Each stage has its main role. That's how I can tell from my perspective. For example, definitely money is required to start a business, to initially start a business. And after that, to execute and run a business, we definitely need those exact manpowers who can really contribute us. For example, when you take into consideration this business which we are running, it is purely a traditional business. It was run by a particular community in our hometown. To find out manpower who can exactly run these machines and who have that traditional touch was really challenging. We started ordering the machineries and other things, and to find out the people who have experience in this machine, who can run the exact machine with that exact perfection, was really challenging. To be frank, every village by village we have roamed to find out those manpowers, because most of them have been moved to some other business. Some of them have been settled in Tirupur. Some of them have went to cities to work in shops, who were traditionally running this business. So man, I would tell, like in each stage, as I said, money and then man, it equally contributes, because without manpower, it is nothing in this business, especially.
Okay, great. And regarding money, and how did you manage to get the funds required? You have around 5 partners, as you told. And did you approach any other financial institution for more loans, any commercial loans? Can you explain in detail about that?
We had a clear business plan when we were starting. Every new business starters, they used to have a spreadsheet, and we had an initial plan that and everything we had it. And when we planned to start from small, and then we can grow into big. That's how we planned. So we have not approached any banks for loans and things. So we started out with our own money only. Mainly, our plan was that to start something small and then make it big. So we haven't approached anybody else for financing. We made our own. We invested our own monies into it.
That is one of the best strategy to manage through internal resources. Is the best way to do business in some way or other. And another thing, what is the total cost of the project? Can you tell about that?
Initially, we started with 50 lakhs budget, each with 10 lakhs. We started it, and we had a long-term plan also when we started this business. Initially, we had a plan of starting with 50 lakhs was our initial plan. Land, we had our own lands, so we used our own land, so that did not add it up to the cost for this project. Initially, with each owner with 10 lakhs, we started the project.
Okay, so what is the space required for starting this business? The total space and building.
When we talk about these missionaries, there are a lot of missionaries for this traditional cold pressed oil manufacturing, but there are only few missionaries which have been used by people when the bull check method was being abolished in our home state. After that, people were using a particular type of machinery. That is the machinery which is an exact replica of what we can get the cold pressed oils, from which we can get the cold pressed oils. So that machinery requires minimum 10 feet by 10 feet area is the minimum area requirement for one machine. For example, if you are planning to have 2 machines, 3 machines, you can multiply it upon the area. For example, if you need to have 3 machines, for machineries alone, you need around 300 square feet area. And to dry your materials, you minimum require an open space of like 500 to 1000 square feet area. You require minimum open area where you can dry your materials. And then you should also plan for the storage. Storage minimum you require around, let's say around 300 to 400 square feet. In a nutshell, to start up a minimum space requirement, I would tell from 3000 square feet, it is a minimum space requirement. Whereas in our factory, we have around 10,000 square feet is the minimum space which we have already allocated. And we have a provision of 6 machines to run at a time. And we have the storage facilities, raw material storage facilities also. Definitely, we have an open door policy, and people can definitely call me for any type of suggestions or clarifications also. We are ready to get them in this matter.
That's really great and very nice of you to keep your open door policy and to help other aspiring entrepreneurs. It's really great and very nice of you.
Welcome.
And yes. And another thing, what are the other infrastructure facilities you mentioned about the space? What are the other requirements in terms of computer or whatever? I mean, that is required for doing this kind of naturally processed oil business.
Initially, as we mentioned, we all are from telecom backgrounds. From the day one itself, in a partnership firm, especially when we are working in a partnership firm, we have to be very transparent among our partners. So that day production and that day business has to be accounted and kept transparently, so as people can, partners can have a visibility on it. That we maintain in our telecom business as well, and the same transparency we are maintaining in our existing business. In Ammani as well, we are maintaining it. We have a very small office which has an accountant, and the accountant records all the in and out of the particular day, starting from the raw materials, oil produced, and the oil cakes, which we extract the oil cakes, and how the sales on the sales side, how much oil is sold per day, how much oil cake has been sold out, how many bottles we utilize. We have utilized for the day, how many cartoons have been utilized. So these all we had our own tracking mechanism, and through that tracking mechanism, we are tracking it. Because when we talk about this business, to set up a tracking mechanism for us, it really took around 6 to 8 months. And I should thank my partner, Mr. Perumal, who is handling the operation and finance, who have set up this very well, through which we can monitor the day-to-day activities. So as I said, we need a small computer for an accountant to record all these details in the system. We use the paper pencil method, also still the old traditional method where we record all the things in paper and notebook. That method also we are using it in the factory. This is how the infrastructure we require, and we have a plant manager who manages the whole day-to-day operation, who manages it on a day-to-day basis. So this is how the minimal infrastructure, other than the factory, which you will require to manage this business.
Nice, that's nice. Okay, in total, how many people are working in your factory?
We have around 18 staffs in our factory currently working with it.
Okay, what are their roles and responsibilities? How many people are doing accounts, and how many people are doing, that processing the oil or producing the oil, and then will be other things, procuring the raw materials. So, what are the roles and responsibilities of these 18 people?
We have the plant manager who handles the entire operation, and we have our managing director for production, Mr. Devarajan sir. As he's very well experienced in raw material purchase, all the raw materials are purchased under Mr. Devarajan sir's supervision only, and we procure only A-grade raw materials, and we never buy hybrid raw materials also. So the production raw material is being managed by the production manager and Mr. Devarajan sir, who is having a 40 years experience in this industry. So they both together manage the raw material part. We have an accountant in the factory who accounts all the accountable parts of the factory, who manages it. For drying, cleaning, we have a small team of 4 members who are managing the drying and cleaning part of the factory. And after that, we have machine operators. We have around 4 machine operators who are handling the day-to-day production activities, who are handling it. And then for packing, we have floating manpower with them who pack the items on daily requirement basis. So for packing requirements, we have around 2 to 3 manpowers who are working on the packing side. We have a small half lorry also, which manages to take the goods in and out and to give the deliveries, to bring in the raw material and to take back the goods to the customer. We have a half lorry also. We have a driver, and we have a watchman also to safeguard the place. So this is how on the manpower side we have a plant.
Fine, fine. Okay. What are the basic raw material required?
When we talk about the raw material, it's a very big market in our hometown in Tamil Nadu. Raw materials are available in different. For example, when we take groundnut, there are totally 3 type of raw materials available in groundnut. The first quality is said that which they use it for the peanut candies. In local, they tell us kadalamtai quality. And the peanut candies quality, that is the first grade material. And then we have oil grade materials also, and we have the third quality. Whereas when we talk about raw materials in groundnut, for groundnut oil, we use only the peanut quality raw material, and we never use with the shell we never use, and we never use the ungrown peanuts and all. We never use. We use only the fully grown seeds, and we never use hybrid seeds. We only use the traditional seeds when we talk about the groundnut. When we talk about sesame, we buy the A grade sesame. In local terms, they used to tell us kumbam quality. So it is like this quality. You can, when you see the quality, it is like this. The hand I'm showing. This we buy only the local ones. We never buy the hybrids one, as I quoted before. We use palm jaggery also for the production of sesame oil. This palm jaggeries, we buy it from a very well-known place called Udangudi from the south of Tamil Nadu. When we talk about coconuts, for coconut oil, we need those copras. We never buy the sulfured copras. We buy unsulfured copras only we buy. And that do we never use those fungal or spoiled copras. We never use. We use fully well-grown copras only. We use them. So these are the raw materials which we require to produce the oil. And after that, for packing, when we talk about the packing part, we require bottles, caps, tins, corrugated boxes. These all are required for the packing as well.
So you manufacture 3 kinds of oil, huh? Or
yes,
more?
Sir, we manufacture.
3, okay.
We manufacture 3 kinds of oil.
Okay, fine. Now, India is a country where the prices, the prices of commodity changes every day. It goes up and down. So is it not a problem for you to keep the control on the price? And when it fluctuates, it's a problem for you. So how do you manage that? Do you keep your price, your selling price same, or it differs from season to season, or whenever the price goes up, and either for your price also fluctuates?
Managing raw material is a big art. That's how I can tell when we manage the raw material. Initial the first year and second, and the second year we had a lot of struggle. Even in Tamil Nadu, it was a very dry season. In 2018 and 19, it was very dry. To manage this, every business we used to tell a learning curve. We were in the learning curve, and our partners, when we had several discussions among our partners also how we can maintain this. The only solution we found by trial and error is that, and a very well known solution also people follow, is that when there's a season, we can buy and keep stock of those materials. And certain materials we cannot store for a long time also. That is again a very challenging thing. We require additional space. We have to manage the space also. So how we buy raw materials is we buy raw materials during the season. So when we buy the raw materials during the season, we can easily manage that part. And really talking about traditional oil business now, people have a lot of awareness, especially in South India. Day by day, the users are getting increased, and when we talk about the demand for the raw materials, it is day by day increasing only, and it is not reducing. The main formula which I can tell for the new starters also, that when there is a season, we have to invest on the raw materials for sure. We have to buy and keep stock and using it. If we are not buying it on the proper time, then we will be forced to buy it for a high cost. When we talk about the high cost, in some cases we also face the same situation, because in 2018 the sesame seeds were very in demand, and there was no sesame seeds available in Tamil Nadu, and the price was shooting up from 80 rupees to 135 rupees. You can see the fluctuation, how big was the fluctuation is. Even now, everybody is facing the fluctuation on groundnut oil. Everybody is facing the fluctuation because government has regulated the import of palm oils, and people locally are forced to use the groundnut oil only. Diwali is expected very shortly. The price of groundnut has been increasing dramatically in the market. So this has been a very challenging part, even to buy and store the raw materials also. It has been a challenging part. This is what I'm trying to quote here. So we have to act very quick, and we have to look around the market around us. Well, are the markets are available, and how are the cost is being sold here across the market. So that database we have to make ready. Or that I would suggest that for a new starter, they have to collect this database while starting itself, and think and act accordingly.
And also the coconut that you'll be buying, it will not last for long, right? During the monsoon, if there is a rainy season, then it will become fungus. There will be a fungus attack, right?
You're right. You're right. We never
Okay.
use sulfured cupras.
Okay.
It was very challenging part. How we manage this part is the oil cakes which we produce now at the factory. We sell in wholesale prices only. Wholesale prices only. Even if you buy 1 kilo or 1 ton, we sell in the same wholesale prices only to all the, even farmers are buying from us, and cattle people who are growing cattle, I mean cow for milk, are also buying from us, and even traders are also coming and buying from us. We maintain the same unitary price for everybody when we talk about the oil cake. So now farmers who are coming and buying oil cake from us, we have made them as a group now. How we have made them as a group is like, from my hometown in surrounding, there are farmers who are having good coconut trees with them. They used to come to town, whereas our factory is in town. They used to come to town to buy things whatever they require. So we made them as a group, and now from them they come every 3 weeks once or 2 weeks once. They come to town and they buy the oil cake, and they bring in their raw materials whichever they have. They give it in the mandis which is available. I mean the traders whom are available. They give it to them and they buy them. They take money if they want any other expenses. They encash them also. In certain cases they never encash them. They buy coconut. They buy the oil cakes. So all of them we made into a group. After making them into a group, every 3 weeks once, they bring in the fresh copra for us. They give us the copra, we give them the oil cake, and sometimes they tell, I don't want oil cake, give me a cash. Also we give them. And in one stage, how we are managing them is, we are even making their work easy. We have combined them like east, west, north, south routes. Every 2 weeks once, we run our vehicle itself to the village. We deliver them the oil cake. We take the goods from them. So we make it's like win and win situation. We support them and they support us. This is how we are buying the copras, the fresh copras we are buying in the market.
Okay. Okay. So the copras means, is it dried one or dried coconut, or normal coconut? You mean?
We buy dried coconut itself from the
Okay. Okay.
farmers.
Okay.
There are two different
Okay.
processes of producing coconut oil. Traditionally, from Tamil Nadu, people have used copras only to produce coconut oils. There is another technique also people follow. They take the fresh coconut, they crush the coconut and take milk out of it, and they produce virgin coconut oil. There are two different type of techniques. We follow the traditional techniques only. We produce the cold pressed and extra virgin oil from our copras, dried copras only.
Okay. Okay. Now coming to the marketing, how do you market your oil? Do you sell locally in your area, or do you sell all over the state, or all over India, or all over the world? What is your marketing strategy? And can you explain about that?
Every product has its own contribution into the market. When we talk about the market, we have used the social media to market our product. We have a e-commerce website as well. www.ammani.in is our website. We are using our website as well. We are using YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. These all are the places where we do the marketing exercises. And I should thank our customers as well, because our customer have done a lot of marketing activities for us. When you talk about marketing, they have done a lot of marketing activities for us. Even now you can go to the review sections in our Facebook and in our website and in our YouTube channels. You can find like in five reviews you can find 3 reviews which are related to health benefits. A lot of our customers who have used our oils have got a lot of health benefits. For example, a customer who has a high cholesterol, after using our groundnut oil, sesame oil, and coconut oil, they have come out of the cholesterol problems. And people having digestion problems have come out of the digestion problems. People having hair fall issues have started using our coconut oil. Used to tell us, I'm started using to my son now, and my son hair fall has really stopped. Like that, they have done a lot of our customers have done a lot of marketing activities as well for us. This is how we have established the marketing channel. About the sales, when you ask me sales on the sales side, like we are totally 5 partners, and 5 of them have taken a part. For example, one of my partner is located in Thoothukudi. There we send oil them from here from our factory to Thoothukudi on every month on 2 lots. So they sell it there. And one more partner is on Madurai, and one more partner is from Trichy. So we have shared the responsibility of sales among us, because only investing and producing oil is not a challenging part. As you mentioned, sales is a very big market. Sales and marketing is a very big portfolio which we have to handle. Initially, when we started and had a plan itself, we had it very clear that we will share the sales part as well among us. That's how we started it, and our products are now available in my hometown. It's available in Tuticorin, it's available in Trichy, it's available in Chennai, it's available in Perambur. But still, we are exploring that part. And
Great.
one thing I have to insist here is on the export side. After people started using it, we have got a lot of export RFQs we started getting, because people that was the real time when people were having that awareness of using those traditional oils. We got a export request immediately once we started the factory. Within 2 to 3 months, we had request from Malaysia, and Mr. Vendan Chidambaram, a second generation Tamil person who have been settled in Malaysia, who are showing up an interest, and they were asking our brand name also, that we would like to associate with you and work in Malaysia in the name of Ammani Malaysia. So like that, we started. After people started using our oil, and when it started spreading through mouth from one person to another person, we started getting the export orders as well. So that's how we were able to reach Malaysia market. Within 6 months of our operation, we were able to reach Malaysia market. And as we are here in Kuwait, we started importing our oils to Kuwait market. And we have customers. We are exporting our oils to Oman, Qatar as well. We are exporting it. We have customers like a batch of families who are taking our oil in US, in UK, in Netherlands, and in Singapore. They are buying in batches and using it. This is how our sale platform has been, it's growing.
Great. Nowadays, there is a growing awareness among the people. They started using the naturally processed oil. There is a growing awareness for the last 6-7 years. It's increasing. The consumer base for naturally processed oil is increasing because of the health benefits, as you rightly told. Yeah, and one another point is coming to the main point. Now, the naturally processed oil price is high, and now the corporate companies, they give at much cheaper rate. And can you first of all tell me what is the difference between the oil produced in corporate companies and the oil produced by your company in a natural way? That is the first thing. The second thing, why the price is high? These are the two questions I'm putting in front of you.
Very good question. I could say that it's a very good question which you have asked me. As when we talk about the oil production, what technique we are following, and based upon the technique and the raw materials involved, how much amount of raw material is involved to produce the oil, these are the main factors which plays the role on the costing. For example, if you take the process which we are following to extract an oil, if I put 1 kilo of groundnut seeds, I'll be getting only 38% of the 38% only I'll be getting oil out of it. And the oil does not get heat. So as the nutrition, minerals and vitamins in the oil are fully retained, because our oil is produced in room temperature, and the oil which we get is extra virgin because there is no heat evolved on it more than the room temperature. When we talk about corporates, they follow different techniques. Their ratio of, for example, what I heard from is there are a lot of bulk producing machines which generate a lot of heat, and by generating a lot of heat, it extracts the oil from the seeds. For example, there is a machine which is called Explorer. Most of the corporates, in my experience, when I've gone through, they use the machine called Explorer. It heats the seed to a temperature of 250 to and above degrees. When they heat it, the extraction level percentage is around 60-65% of oil they extracted from the seeds. Now you can compare the cost. Now I'm using the same raw material. Using the same raw material, I'm extracting only 35 to 38% of oil only I'm extracting. And there is another person who is using a modern machine. With the same machine, he is heating it and taking an oil which is of 60 to 65%. Then you can imagine the difference. And the oil which we produce does not has any trans fat on it, as the oil does not get heat. Whereas the other oils which has been produced, it gets when we heat the oil, it gets trans fat into it. This is the main difference. Now, for example, to produce 1 liter of oil, I may need to use around 2.75 to 2.9 kilograms of seed I require. Whereas the others, they may not require. They can produce it in 1.5 kilos of seed. This is how the main difference is when we talk about. And the process which we follow in our factory, we follow the natural process. The natural process in the sense, after we crush the oil, you can also see in our production video, it is there in YouTube, and we can even have a look of the production video in this program. We can have a look. When we talk about the process which we follow, we never use filters. After we produce the oil in our machinery, we never use any filters. We use natural sedimentation process. By using this natural sedimentation process, for example, if I use a filter, I can take the oil, put into the filter, which is around 20 stage, 30 stage synthetic and cotton filters are available in the market. We can filter the oil and pack the oil same day. But the technique which we follow is the natural sedimentation technique, where our ancestors and were traditionally using it. We fill the oil in a milk can which has a capacity of 50 liters. We keep them, we have a cotton cloth on over it. You can also see in our production video. You can see the cotton cloth over it. We keep it in sunlight. To get 1 liter of groundnut oil, for me, it takes minimum, to get naturally sedimented and to get it back, I have to spend at least 8 to 10 days. And for sesame oil, I have to wait for 4 to 6 days. And same way for coconut oil, I have to wait for 4 to 6 days. You can imagine the amount of vessels, how much I should have, and how I can maintain this. And the timeline, production timeline, how much delays it will create on the production from the product to from the raw material to the end product. These all we are managing it. The reason why we are managing this is people who are using this oil, our oil is 100% pure, natural and unrefined. When we use this oil, all the minerals, nutrients and vitamins are retained in it. We get the full health benefit by using this oil. That is how the technique is different. I hope I've clarified your point by asking the difference. On the production side also, after the on the production side, the processing side also, I hope I've given the differentiation.
And the price, what is the price of the oil of the corporate companies and your oil? What is the difference?
When we talk about the pricing, especially in our India market, from 90 rupees you can find oil in the market. You can find prices from 90 rupees. The regulatory bodies in India have how they have kept the regulatory bodies. They have given a proportion that they can have a mix as well. For example, due to the market demand, our government has given that. Government has given that sort of cushion, I could say, or that sort of privilege to the producing company and to the manufacturers, that it can be in the ratio of 80-20. They can have a mix of other oils also. Government has given. So when we talk about the pricing of the oil from 90 rupees, for example, you can if you see the groundnut oil from 90 rupees to 300 rupees, you can find the groundnut oil in the market. When we talk about this Natu Marchik oil, I mean the cold pressed oils in the market, you can easily look from 150 rupees to 300 rupees, 350 rupees. We can look forward.
Okay. Okay.
This is how it ranges. Whereas how pure we are getting the oil, and how who is following the correct technique, where our ancestors and our traditionally who have followed, that is the question mark here.
Okay. And if someone wants to set up a new naturally processed oil mill, can you help by setting them up?
Definitely, we can help them up in setting up the processing mill. Even now, a lot of people have visited after our factory has been, since we are running this business last 3 years. A lot of people have visited our factory, especially my college seniors and friends of friend. A lot of people have visited, and a lot of people have questioned us, and they may even ask them about like how we had an interview session. They used to ask about how we have selected this particular type of missionaries, whereas I can see there is a very cost effective missionaries are available. So why can't I go and select these missionaries and all? They will come, and they will we have get a lot of people in this industry especially, and they are running their business successfully as well. We even offer an industrial visit also, and we have offered industrial implant training also for diploma mechanical students. Have visited a batch of students have visited last year our factory, and they were there in our factory for 3 days to understand the process and sort of things. So we arrange. As I said earlier, in this Corona time only we have some limitations and restrictions. Before that, we had a very full open door policy, and we never restrict people visiting us, approaching us. And business is something sharing. This is what I can see in this modern world.
That's really very nice of you. And after the COVID-19, the thought process of the people have changed. And before, everyone was looking for jobs. Nowadays, people, they are thinking to shift to business. Most of the people from the Middle East and other countries now they are coming back to India. So there is a total shift towards business. So can you advise if someone wants to set up a business of naturally processed oil, how many machines he can start with, and what will be the cost of the project? Can you give your expert opinion?
Definitely, I can give an opinion on that. In order to add to your question, I would like to even give an additional information. Now, this is the time. Now we have to use our skills and make money out of it instead of investing it, because this Corona has taught a lot of things to us. As a person to support, what I would say is, first you can invest your skills in starting up a new business instead of investing money on it. For example, when we had a plan of starting Ammani, we even had an exploration that why can't we align with somebody who is already manufacturing it and doing it. We had this thought process of aligning, but we could not have that connect, and there are people who are doing in the market. I'm not denying that, but we did not have that connect to connect with them and do a business. That's why we have invested a lot on infrastructure, and we have started this business. We even welcome people who can be a franchise for us, who can be a retailer, or who can be a wholesale dealer for us, or people around the world who can take and export our oil. We welcome them as well. We even work in our brand. We even work brand behind the brand concept also. We work with them. So this is one point I would like to add here. And the main advantage in working with us will be that We are halal certified. We have the halal certification. We have Agmark India certified for our products. And we have FSSI state license and central license. These are three things we have. And we have APEDA and we have approval in coconut board as well. So we are a complete package. When we talk about in this industry, we are almost a complete package in this industry, and we are already operating in several countries. So the brand and the name itself, it speaks. And
Okay.
exactly to answer your question, to start up this business, minimum you should have a, like, you can start with one machine. Also you can start with, or you should have minimum 2 to 3 machines will be very sufficient for a new starter to start with. Because coconut oil, when we produce the coconut oil, we don't want to use that in another machine. That smell and taste may get affected. So for coconut oil manufacturing, we need to have a dedicated machine, and we should not disturb that machine at all. And for groundnut and sesame, you can have separate machines and run them. You can even start with one machine also, you can start, or else you can even start scaling up to 2 to 3. I would prefer first you can start with one machine and try. The one more thing I would like to quote here on the manpower, which we were talking earlier also. Anybody can run a machine and anybody can extract oil out of it, because it's not a rocket science. But when we talk about people who have traditionally learned it, and who have done this business with people who have traditionally learned this from generation, they are a hand. The hand magic cannot be with us. The taste and the quality of oil which they manufacture and extract it, we cannot manufacture it. Even I can run a machine now, but the taste and quality of them, it cannot be compensated by anybody. So better you search for them as well, to incorporate them into your business. So they will be also very happily and delightfully, they will be also be to work they'll be interested to work with you, because it is their traditional business.
Okay. What will be the cost, I mean, for one machine, the total cost? And if someone wants to start a business with one machine, and what will be the total cost involved? You told already the space required, around 100 square feet per machine. Okay. So even in a small space, one can start. So what will be the cost for that? The total
When we
cost
talk
of
about
the.
the cost of the, yeah, sorry. When we talk about the cost of the missionaries, there are a lot of missionaries, as I explained before. And now people who have not that much space, even they can go for a grinder type of machine. So that grinder type of machines are also available. When we talk about the reliability, we might have seen in our production video. Down we are using stone, and up we have the wooden pest, which comes from a tree called wahai pest, which locally for traditions we have used. For a machinery, not only the machinery, we need to have pillars as well. You can see in the production video, there are 2 side pillars, machineries. It will approximately cost you 3 lakhs to set up a machinery in your place.
So
And
one machine 3 lakhs. If someone wants to put 5 machine, 15 lakhs, right?
yes.
Okay. Okay. Another question. I mean, you are producing 3 oils. I mean, groundnut oil and sesame seed oil and coconut oil. Which is, the highest sales? I mean, the more demanded. Can you list it?
We should talk region wise. When we talk about this region wise, locally in our in Tamil Nadu, people, they mostly use groundnut oil. Groundnut oil is mostly, the toppest oil selling oil, I can tell. And after that, sesame, and then.
Is it because is it cheaper than other oils, or what is the reason?
People have used to it. For example, people are mostly used to groundnut oil. Your point is also valid. It is cost wise, it is a bit. It is lesser than the sesame oil. That is one point. But however, people have mostly using groundnut oil in our hometown. In Tamil Nadu, if you see. When we talk about international market, people, coconut oil and sesame oil, especially our sesame oil, has a very good reach across the globe. Compared to when we talk about Malaysia, people in Malaysia, they mostly consume our coconut oil and sesame oil, whereas the consumption of groundnut oil is very less. When we talk about the Middle East region, it is equally contributed. Groundnut oil and sesame oil, both are equally getting contributed.
Okay.
That is how
Okay.
I can.
Fine. Okay. You told, per machine will be costing around 3 lakhs. So 3 machines, it will be around 9 lakhs. What are the other costs involved to set up the factory? There is, land requirement is there and buildings you have to erect. So it's not just 9 lakhs. It will be more. I mean, you should have for 3 machines, at least minimum 500 square feet, 300 square feet for the machines, 3 machines, and you should have a small
Yes.
office, a back office, and other things. So minimum 500 square feet. So what will be the other cost?
When we talk about when we go into minimum three units, when we are planning with three minimum units, for a newcomer, I would advise there are a lot of other factories or mills in village areas which have not been used by people, and it is kept. The old mills are kept as it is. You can even approach those mills, and you can take those mills for lease and run instead of investing on infrastructure. I would prefer that. In our case also, we were exploring all those options before. When we are planning to start, we were even exploring to have the mills, but at that time power was the main constraint, I can tell, because these mills were available only on village areas, and in village areas the three-phase power was not available. That was a bit constraint, and in that duration what we thought is, okay, we'll have our own setup itself, because this machineries which we install also to relocate also, it was challenging. But people who are already in the near village or village area, I can tell that option one, you can even explore these abundant mills, and you can even set up that. One of my friend who is very near to my hometown, he had done the same thing. Like he started this he was into this business almost near to the stage when I started. When I was constructing a mill, he took a mill for lease for 3 years. He took it on lease, and he has erected 3 missionaries. So that way I would tell that this is an option one you can try first. If this option one doesn't suit you, and if you want to really construct your own mill, then as I said, for 3 missionaries, you minimum require 300 square feet area. And after that, for the office and for storage, when we talk about, you at least require a build-up area of around 1,500 to 2,000 square feet. You require a build-up area. And now the cost-effective way of constructing is people are now using the cooling sheets, sheds type with the precast in blocks. This is how people are using it. Even you can, when you see our production video, you can also see the construction, how we have constructed. So that would be the cost-effective way of constructing. So when we talk about the construction area, minimum you require around for the facilities itself, you require around 1,500 to 1,800 square feet of area. And then the open land where you have to dry your materials, approximately you need around 700 to, from 500 to 1,000 square feet for that. For that also, you have to put a foundation, because in rain, it should not vanish out. So for that also, you need to have a good foundation, good compaction. Soil has to be compacted well, and the concrete has to be made well for that, so it doesn't goes off in the rain.
Okay.
Approximately 2,500 square feet of build-up land is required. So based upon the infrastructure which you are selecting, you can multiply by that and get the costs.
Okay, fine. And if someone, setting up the factory is one thing, the production is one thing, the marketing is another thing. It's not that much easy as it seems to be. If someone wants to tie up, put up a factory, and they manufacture, they produce the oil, and they will not be able to sell. It's marketing is another area. So will you tie up with them, and will you give a kind of subcontracting, and they can supply the oil, produced oil to you? Are you open for that?
For reference, the production capacity currently, which we are handling, the production capacity is well sufficient for our current usage, and we have already made a plan on it. Only thing on outsourcing and getting oils from others, the main thing is the quality of raw material they use and how they process, because we can't supervise them. It is going to be done in their premises. We are not supervising them, so that would be a very challenging part. But in the other way, I can what positive side I can see is that if people are ready to take oil from us and do it, they are most welcome. They can, as I said, we are already providing on brand behind the brand concept. We are working with key brands in India. We are working with them. We are supplying our oils to them as well. So people who wants to work on the other front end are most welcome. In this part, to collaborate with a supplier who is on the production side and from whom we can take and do it, that will be a very challenging part. And after a very keen examination about them and about their process, only we can make a decision itself from our side.
Yeah, I understand what you mean by, yeah, you are right. Your points are very valid. Quality control is a big problem.
And one more point to add it, our factory, we have got the UGMARK certification for our factory as well, and our factory has been in connect with the lab, UGMARK lab, which is in Trichurapalli, the SAGL 1 lab, which is in Trichurapalli. So our factory is under their full supervision as well. Whatever oils we produce in our factory, they have given the grade 1 certification for our oil. In that case, if we are trying up with them, that can't be done as well. So we have to give justice for what we are producing as well, right? So in that case, we will be unable to partner with them. And one more thing is the halal certification, which we have got for our products as well. So this will create some conflict of interest as well in this business.
Fine. Okay. And Brother Mohammed Hanif, you explained very beautifully about the naturally processed oil, business. And we wish you all the best and good luck to achieve more milestones. And when we meet next time for the next interview, I want to know that you have progressed far more well. You have developed your business far more, and it's not just 18 people as you are working now. There should be around hundreds of people working for you. And on behalf of the whole community, business community, and the students community, I thank you very much for your vivid explanation about the naturally processed oil. Thank you very much. And I wish you all the good luck and best wishes.
Thank you so much, Dr. K.P. Mohammed. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. I really thank ITV from my side as well. On behalf of our team, Ammani Food Products as well, we thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And it was really a pleasure in having this session with you, especially. The questions which you have asked was very apt and were very precise to what people, people have been asking us in this many years. I can say that you have covered all the questions like whom we meet in the last 3 years who would ask us. You have covered all those questions, and really thank you so much. And thank you so much for your for your good intention on us as well. Really thank you so much.
You are most welcome. You are most welcome.